I'd like to share with you my one treasured dream: to be the first blind person to compete in the famous Sydney to Hobart Yacht Race. I was water skiing with friends at Lake Burrendong when another friend who owned a sailboat offered me a ride. I was captivated by the silent speed, the exhilaration and the intellectual challenge that is sailing. I promptly sold my powerboat, did an apprenticeship in dinghies and trailable yachts, and had a really great time over a couple of years. Then came the day when I decided to buy a FAR 37 racer cruiser. My partner was Psychiatrist Mike Epstein, and we couldn't resist calling the boat out of sight, out of mind. I was responsible for recruiting the crew, training them, and making sure that we had compatibility on and off the water. We became a great team. Leading up to the Hobart, we were competitive and at times very successful. Then came the great day. 152 boats jostled for position at the start line, and it was veritable mayhem. The noise, the confusion, and the jostling for position was adrenaline inducing. Eventually we got out the heads, put up the spinnaker and headed south for Hobart. Later that afternoon, the wind conditions changed and a fierce storm developed. In fact, it was the roughest race on record to that time. 60 knots of wind speed across the deck, coupled with 12-metre seas, turned the ocean into a witch's cauldron, assisted by the clash of New South Wales coastal currents and the wave action of Bass Strait. Halfway across the Bass Strait, radio schedule placed us in second spot when disaster struck. A rogue wave hit the boat and we were swamped. The engine was disabled and we had no generator, radio, lights or navigation equipment. Approaching the Tasmanian coast at night, that was flying too blind even me. Sadly, we had to retire and return to Eden. Next year was a far quieter race. The winds were light, the seas unpredictable, and we were becalmed halfway down the Tasmanian coast. We still finished in a respectable situation in the top third of the fleet and arrived at Hobart to great acclaim from family and the bulk of Hobart's population. Looking back in hindsight, sailing reminds me very much of life. The joys, the frustrations, the total lack of predictability. And I wouldn't have it any other way.